A 19-year-old gorilla was shot to death yesterday in front of a bunch of people who witnesses say his hands were up. Yo, what up, Knuckles? It's your buddy Philko here, putting live from your mama's house. Doing my thing as I usually do. You know that most hated dude with the incredible mood. Now, I'm going to read this article real quick from the businessinsider.com so you guys know what's going on, just in case you don't know. The killing of a gorilla at the Cincinnati Zoo after a 4-year-old boy tumbled into the ape's enclosure triggered outrage and questions about safety. But zoo officials called the decision to use lethal force a tough but necessary choice. More than 2,000 people signed a petition on Charge.com that sharply criticized the Cincinnati Police Department and the zoo for putting down the animal and called for the child's parents to be held accountable for their actions of not supervising their child. Cincinnati police on Sunday said the parents had not been charged, but that charges could eventually be sought by the Hamilton County prosecuting attorney. A spokeswoman for the prosecutor did not immediately respond to a request for comment. A Facebook page titled Justice for Harambe had more than 3,000 likes by Sunday afternoon, a day after the 400-pound, 181-kilogram gorilla was shot dead about 10 minutes after encountering and dragging the child. The animal, named Harambe, was a western lowland gorilla, an endangered species, and the zoo said it had intended to use him for breeding. He didn't even get to get none. If we think it's acceptable to kill a gorilla who has done nothing wrong, I don't think our city should have gorillas. Man, something posted. All right. So, to me, this is pretty simple. Two different groups should be in trouble here, big time. One, the parents, big time. Big time. Two, maybe even bigger time, the motherfucking zoo. Look, the zoo, you're a business. Zoo's a business. You should make sure your enclosures cannot be infiltrated by a 4-year-old. If your shit can be infiltrated, your enclosure can be infiltrated, it should be by somebody who's in the motherfucking Olympics. Somebody who you know did it on purpose, like ran 15 miles per hour and hurdled 20 feet up and shit and landed in there. You know that person was doing it on purpose, but a 4-year-old doesn't have that much physical capability, so that's definitely the zoo's fault, in my opinion. You know, you're a business. You can't risk that kind of stuff. And of course, the fault is on the parents as well because they weren't watching their child when the child got into the goddamn enclosure in the first place. Now, as for the police shooting the gorilla, what do you expect? What do you expect? You can't risk it. I mean, when it comes to this gorilla who hasn't done anything wrong, do you know how long it takes him to kill that baby? Do you know how long it takes to kill the baby? And it's not like you can communicate with a gorilla on a level in which you can communicate with a human. Like, get away from the child, lay down. He doesn't know that much, you understand? He doesn't know that much. You can't just tell him, hey, just walk away from the child, stay over there with your hands behind your head. He's not going to understand that. So I completely understand lethal force. This is not a person who can understand you at a level that humans can. This isn't that. This is a gorilla, homie. Do you know what this thing can do to a grown-ass man? Now, yes, the gorilla was nice, but at any second, that gorilla could flip. That gorilla could just flip and toss that child in the air 30 feet for no damn reason just because it's bored, or shit on a kid, and all this shit could just happen in a split second. You know, so the fault, parents, zoo. Police officers, the fuck do you expect? I mean, let's say I was negligent and shit, and my child ended up in there, you know, I'm going to snipe the gorilla immediately. You know what I mean? If I have a gun, he's getting sniped. Or shot, whatever. Shotgun, whatever it is. He's catching it quick. Now I'm like, oh, my bad. You know, I know this is my fault, but I'm not going to, just because I fucked up, allow a gorilla to possibly kill my child. He wasn't doing anything wrong. Yeah, but like I said, do you know how quick it takes for a gorilla to harm a fucking full-grown man? It's really quick. You understand? So you don't want to risk that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. You understand? So I understand the call. I understand it, and I agree with it. I'm not complaining. So, yeah, man, gorilla lives matter. Gorilla lives matter, homie. And I'm out, Nyakos. Later.